engine 2003 Cavalier 762 Chevrolet, your number 11 qualifier, will make a solo pass. The unique thing about the Rosa's machine is that it is on raw horsepower. No nitrous, no blower, no alcohol. This baby is just flat fast. Watch the scoreboards on this pass. Yes, your eyes don't deceive. 694 and 200 miles. Fuels Prostock. 2 weeks ago, he had never had a win. Was runner-up 11 times, but he scored that first victory, and with that came the current point lead in the quickest and fastest Prostock category on the planet Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, from Dix, New York, please welcome Sean Nobile. He is a flying farmer from Louisville, Ohio. Would you please welcome Mark Thomas. Night of Fire! No. I said, are you ready for the Night of Fire? Then let the show begin! Summit car over there, Carl Baker over in the left lane, Wally Stroop in the right lane. Wally's back in his second race this year, been busy down there building chassis and Stroop race cars, and he has gotten back with us. Aaron Colbert, welcome back. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. Baker going home early. Stroop does a 78. Way to go in Prostock. New world record here tonight. Conditions are right, but we shall see. Final call for Promod to the staging lane. Final call for Promod to the staging lane. John, give an overview. Cubic inches, body styles, what do we got here? Well, there you are. 816 cubic inches. Hence the word MountainMotor. These are fully sprung, door-operated Prostock cars. They have to meet a template. They cannot alter these cars. They got a 13-inch wing on the back, if you want to call it a wing, and they are out here to go fit. These guys have already reset earlier today the world mile per hour record, Aaron, and now I think tonight we have some weather that'll knock your socks off, and I think we're going to see the other half of that record go tonight. Could be right now. World record stands at a 6:44. The old mile an hour record stood at 2:15:37. Now that's 2:16 and change. Steve Speed holds that record, but again, it's the last man standing when we get done tomorrow, so you may hold it at least temporarily. That may be what's going to happen tonight. Charlie Peppers on the Coors Light side. Michael Bruno out of Illinois. Side air temperature is 71 degrees. Here's the beauty. The track corrected. The track station is 943 feet above sea level. Same almost identical elevation we had last night at this time, and the track temperature is 80 degrees. This thing is nothing but, it's just got teeth up the gazillion. These guys will just love it. You are the king of description. All right, here we go. Coming out of Ponton, Aruba, this is Al Gilbertus Kelp Boom. the www.aruba.com entry, also sponsored by Digicel, the digital company of note in Aruba. They actually compete with a couple of Prostock cars here, showing you that this is indeed the International Hot Rod Association. Larry O'Brien from Lakeshore, Ontario. He has struggled throughout this deal. The big Hemi in the Stratus, and he has yet to really get past the 600-foot mark of this racetrack. But under these conditions, he should be able to dial it in right here.
Well, I want to tell you something. You're exactly right. Aruba, as far south as we can go. Canada, we're almost as far north as we can go further west from here. These are two cars from opposite ends of the pole.
See where he goes. O'Brien will jump into, let's take a quick look, into the number 16 spot. So he finally gets in, but he's into that number 16 position. The new bump spot goes to a 6:55.9. So here we go. Serious move towards the wall. We're lucky he's still got some feet left on that one. Folks, this is a huge race here for the guys sitting over here on the power side of the racetrack. 2 times the world champion, back-to-back world championship in what is unquestionably the toughest category in the International Hot Rod Association. He is still in the points chase for perhaps his 3rd world championship. But right now, Brian Game is not in the show in the Lucasville, Ohio-based 2002 Mustang. Folks, he has struggled. Out of 30 some odd cars, his best qualifying effort has been 29. Unbelievable. So Brian Game has to call upon the super team to answer the bell one more time. The super team, that's Angelo Alessi walking to the starting line, a guy that actually ended up number 2 in the world back in the late 1990s in Prostock. You got crew chief supreme Cliff Moore standing behind the car. You think this is pressure? Ladies and gentlemen, on this one run, could be hanging the world championship for this year. They got to make this field. Right now, they got to go quicker than 6:55.9. They will take on Chuck DeMori. But all eyes now on Brian Game. So bottom line, if you want to get in, you're going to have to run pretty much a career fast if you want to play. Mike, the track right here. Take a token. 51. Bell with an absolutely outstanding pass. Wow. There he gets scrambled here. There's a knee we haven't seen down that low in a long time. John Gilbert rounded up now, the Canadian from Otterville, Ontario, the 2002 Cougar. He will take on Andre Lustra. Here's the second half of that Aruba.com racing team. Comes out of a run to stop Aruba. 2004 Escort, a pretty standard 814 cubic inch power plant. And right now he's run a career best of 662. Unfortunately, he is running into this buzzsaw called the Sunoco Race Fuels Prostock, folks. These guys are serious out there.
They really are. And here again, it's Canada on the one side, Aruba on the other suicide. That we couldn't have choreographed that any better. But that's the luck of the draw and the way they come out. One destination, one pole racing the other pole. Let's see if they can take the show.
So here we go. Once again, Prostock. 16 spots will go to tomorrow. First round at 11 a.m.
New York. He owned this category the first half of this year. And then see
seemed like all the rest of the field kind of caught up to him here in the second half. But right now, what is considered by most people as being the quickest Chevrolet Prostock in the world is not in this show. He's gone 6:55. Right now, he's got to go 6:50, actually 4, to get this job done. He'll take on Dwayne Rice in the Cavalier. Rice not in the show. We have seen Rice come very near that 640 bracket, but all eyes right now on the Citgo Cavalier out of Center Mauritius, New York. And again, with John Nobile in the point lead and John Montecalvo literally about 19 points behind him, I cannot tell you the amount of pressure that Montecalvo is feeling right now. They are sweating majorly bullets. So that's really bullets. They're putting bombs. Right now 15, and let me take a quick look here through the non-qualifiers. Rick Jones, we have yet to see the Quartermax car, and I believe other than Rick Jones, everybody else is safe. But if we're talking Rick Jones and the Quartermax Stratus, who's coming up here in the next pair of cars, folks, it's going to get critical. So Montecalvo just bumped Rick Jones out of the field. And Rick Jones coming up in the next pair. But Kenny Benso, he's been running some pretty strong numbers. So now let's see how Benso can handle He can fly upside down. He can make it. What they do is they put this line lock on with blocks, effectively blocks the fluid, and then they pump it through a one-way valve into the brake cylinders that holds the car. Sometimes it takes, I know on my ProMod, it took 900 pounds of pressure to hold that car. Well, here's the story. I believe, unofficially, one more car can jump into this field. It's the Dodge Stratus, the Rick Jones and the Quartermax car. If he does not go quicker than 6:54.5, a new era in IHRA Prostock will exist because Aruba will have stuck their first Prostock car ever into a professional field of drag racing.
And one of the quickest fields in history. Not the quickest, but one of the quickest.
In fact, right now, as we take a look, if Jones could get in and get in with a decent number, that may seal the deal. Lots of stories here. The run. You may have a guy from Aruba make the field. You may have this Dodge decimate the field. And if he can really run a number, you will have the quickest field ever in Prostock history. Lots of side angles. Let's watch.
Second on 16 cars. That is absolutely unbelievable.
Outstanding job. Now, John Bartunek, he'll be in that 15th position at least as a minimum. Jason Collins, he'll be number 11. What they're doing now, John, is they're racing for position tomorrow. You want to be in the top 8. Top 8 cars get lane choice. You obviously don't want to be on the very bottom part of the field because you're going to, number 1 takes on number 16 tomorrow. Number 2 takes on 15. 3 takes on 14 and so forth. So right now, you play the position game and try and put yourself in a position to give yourself an advantage tomorrow. The biggest advantage, be in the top 8 when we end this deal here tonight. That's exactly what they're running for. Drag Racing Series, won the All-Star Game, the Snowco Prostock Shootout last year, was runner-up this year. He will take on a man that you met on the track just a little bit ago, one of the newest members of the Rick Jones Quarterback 640 Club, Elijah Morton from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and this beautiful Rise and Storm 2004 Mustang. The rumble of a combined cubic inches of about 1,630 cubic inches.
That's exactly.
Wow.
Actually, to tell you, most of these cars are 814 inches. The reason is 815 is the rule. IHRA is a zero tolerance. They cannot go over by 1 cubic. And I want to tell you something.
Prostock continues here at the President's Cup Nationals. Prostock Shootout. Folks, as we take a look, looks like final 2 cars in Prostock. Here we go. Everyone has been talking about Mansfield. Now, can he lay down the number that everybody expects? Right now, he's the #1 qualifier at 648. Can he reestablish that right now? Let's watch.